So we are going to talk on this topic, how to advance safely. Now, I think, I mean to say everybody wants to advance. There is no one who doesn't want to advance. If there's somebody who doesn't want to advance, you can inform me, and I can also tell you tips how not to advance. That's also there. So, how to advance? Well, various, now this question is not so easy. You might think, what's the problem with this question? But the whole problem with this question is because if you want to advance, not just advance, but advance safely, because sometimes you advance and you drive so fast and you are advancing, you're going fast, but then it's too fast and you meet an accident. So, so to prevent this kind of accidents, if you advance too fast, you have to understand what our parampara is saying. And that's why Srila Prabhupada's books are the best books. Srila Prabhupada's books have everything, and we have to read Prabhupada's books first and understand that and make a foundation knowledge out of Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada's mood has to be imbibed. But then Srila Prabhupada has also quoted in his book from various previous acharyas in his commentaries. It's full of, Prabhupada's commentaries is full of quotations from previous acharyas, from Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Baladev Bhushan, Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, his own guru. And when we read Prabhupada's books, we also get a view of previous parampara. What is their view? So, by reading Prabhupada's books and his commentary, we get an idea what entire parampara wants from us. That's a very important point. It's not just what Srila Prabhupada wants, what the entire parampara wants, because Prabhupada's Prabhupada's books, his commentaries have references from previous acharyas, from our parampara. So we get an understanding of entire parampara, and that's very important. When you understand what a parampara wants, what a Guru Varga wants, Vande Gurun Sri 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. So we sing Vandeham Shri Gurun Sri 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 references to all gurus, to Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and so on, and then Jiva, षड् Goswamis, and then Mahaprabhu. It's entire parampara, and that's the role of parampara, by the way, to give you a holistic knowledge. Prabhupada would have simply also written commentary to his books, just what he believes, that's all. He could have done that, and he would have accepted it because he's an acharya. I mean to say, we read Prabhupada's morning walks, his conversations, and that's purely what Prabhupada is saying. Of course, his statements are based on the conclusions of our parampara and previous acharyas, but he need not have quoted them, but he did quote them to impress upon us the point that you need to understand the parampara. Parampara jana bhalo mate, Bhaktisiddhanta used to say. So we read Prabhupada books, we read Prabhupada commentaries, and then we become also eager to read the books of Bhaktisiddhanta, because Prabhupada has given references to various acharyas, to acharyas' books. When you read all acharyas' books and Prabhupada books, and then when you look at the whole parampara, and then again come to Prabhupada books, and then you understand, take a holistic level of understanding, then we can understand how to advance safely. So what I'm going to do in this seminar, in this talk, so I'm just going to quote many references from our parampara, what they are saying, how to advance in devotion. So let's start from the top. Rupa Goswami. We are Rupanugas, we all know. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 Swayam Rupa Goswami. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, he understood the heart, the abhisht of Lord Chaitanya. Sthapitam Yena Bhutale, and Bhutale, on this entire globe, he established what Mahaprabhu wanted. Not just wanted, abhishtam, his Mahaprabhu's understanding of devotion, of rasa, of Srimati Radharani, that he established. How important Rupa Goswami is to all of us. That's why we are all Rupanugas. So let's start from Rupanuga, Rupa Goswami. So what does Rupa Goswami advise us how to advance safely? Well, the best book is Prabhupada published, Nectar of Instruction. His own commentary is there. There are two more commentaries on Nectar of Instruction by Bhakti Siddhanta, which is Vivriti, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Prabhupada summated both of them in his commentary. And Prabhupada refers to the third verse, Nectar of Instruction, verse 3, 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 𝗪𝗧𝗧 tat karma pravartanat sangate aga satovrite sadved bhakti prasidhyati. Prasidhyati means your bhakti will increase if you follow these 6 things. Now, I'm not going to go into these 6 things. You can read in Nectar of Instruction, verse 3, purport. But what the most important point here is to take away is utsaha, enthusiasm. That's the first point there. Utsaha. Now, enthusiasm for what? Enthusiasm, utsaha, nishchay, to achieve your goal. Utsaha for dharya. That means maintaining enthusiasm even in the face of so many obstacles. So many obstacles. To maintain enthusiasm in face of so many obstacles, so many troubles in life. There will be so many troubles. You can't just expect there will be no troubles. You'll have disease, you'll have political problems, you will have so and so and so and so. There will be problems. If you think there will be no problems, then you are in a big problem. So you have enthusiasm to continue patiently. Tat karma pravartanat, utsaha, to follow the rules and regulations set up by Srila Prabhupada. Sangatyaga, utsaha, to reject wrong association, and satovrite, utsaha, to take good association. If you have this kind of enthusiasm, you will advance in devotion very nicely. That Rupa Goswami says. But here the question comes: what is enthusiasm? Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, enthusiasm is life of devotion. Enthusiasm is devotion. Just as he gives an example, just as in Vedas it is said, ghee is amrit, ghee is nectar, milk is nectar, because it increases the life. Ghee is ayu, in Ayurveda says, ghee increases our lifespan, health and lifespan. So much so, it's so linked with our lifespan and health that it is said ghee is ayu. So similarly, enthusiasm is so much linked with devotion. Enthusiasm is the soul of devotion. If your enthusiasm is dead, then your devotion is finished. It's not at all pleasing to Krishna, because Krishna doesn't want your services. He has so many devotees to do service. He can accomplish everything himself. What he sees is enthusiasm in service, and he accepts it. The squirrel and the Hanuman, both were throwing. Hanuman was throwing big stones, squirrel was throwing some pebbles. Ram was pleased with both. All those squirrel pebbles have no value in making that big setu. Ram was seeing the enthusiasm, yes. So that's why they said enthusiasm is devotion. But question is, what is enthusiasm? Now Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, enthusiasm is intelligence in Krishna consciousness. You have to apply intelligence. Intelligence for what? Apply in what? So, Srila Rupa Goswami, he has written one more poem, Lalita Ashtakam. And right in the first verse, he describes what is enthusiasm. What is enthusiasm of Lalita Devi. Lalita Devi, who is, now you have to keep in mind, Lalita Sakhi, she is the personal servant of Radharani, who incarnated at Swarup Damodar in Chaitanya Leela. And there he was a personal servant of Lord Chaitanya. So, she is the best servant of Radha. She is the best servant of of Krishna. That's Lalita. Even more important than Vishakha. So she knows exactly how to serve the best servant of Krishna, Radha. And this is what we want to know. So Rupa Goswami writes in Lalita Ashtakam, the first verse, Radha Mukunda Pada Sambhava Garma Bhindu. And then he says, and then he says, Further Nirmancha Upari Kritadheya Laksham Uttunga Sohirda Vishesha Vashat Pragalbam Devim Gunai Sulalita Lalitam Namami. This is what Rupa Goswami says. And he describes, in this verse, he is explaining what is enthusiasm. If you want to learn the enthusiasm, yes, here is the example, Lalita Sakhi. Learn from her. What is the nature of enthusiasm? That's the point. What do we mean by enthusiasm? Okay, you have to be enthusiastic to follow the rules and regulations. You have to be enthusiastic to take good association. You have to be enthusiastic to achieve your goal. But the question is, what is enthusiasm? What is the form? What is the nature of enthusiasm? What is enthusiasm made of? You have to be enthusiastic to follow rules and regulations. Okay, so what should we do? That's the question. Yeah, I am. So you have to be enthusiastic to follow rules and regulations. Yes, Prabhu, I am enthusiastic. And then next class you come, Prabhu, I was enthusiastic to follow rules and regulations and to abandon bad association and to take good association. Still I fell down. What happened? Then the preacher will say, no, you have to be more enthusiastic. And then he says, yes, okay, fine, I'll be more enthusiastic. The question is, what do you do to what is enthusiasm? That's the question. Otherwise, it's simply a subjective, sentimental definition. So what is enthusiasm? What is the nature and form of enthusiasm? That's this verse. Rupa Goswami says this, Lalita Ashtakam. And what he says, Radha Mukunda Pada Sambhava Garma Bindhu. The first component of enthusiasm is focus on service. If you want to increase your enthusiasm, increase your focus on service. Because that's what enthusiasm is made of, the first component. It's made of three things. Service. What Lalita Sakhi is doing, Radha Mukunda Pada Sambhava Garma Bindhu. Bindhu means drop, Garma means sweat. Lalita Sakhi is focusing on the lotus feet, Pada Sambhava of Radha Mukunda. And she is focusing that there should be no defect, no problem there. And even if she finds one drop of sweat, she is disturbed. And she cleans that, because it should be perfectly clean. Radha Mukunda, where they are standing. So in the next line it is said, Nirmancha Upari. They are standing on a lotus flower in the middle. And that should be perfectly clean. There should not be even a drop of sweat there. That's the focus. Srila Prabhupada, once he was standing in Vrindavan temple. Yeah, and then he was seeing Krishna Balaram near the tamal tree, which is still there. And he was seeing from far, and he was watching, and he called the Pujari. And Pujari came and he said, you see in the eyes of Krishna at the corner, there is a hair in the eyes of Krishna. Remove that. See from far. Remember, he was very old in the end of his, in the last days. And he could see from very far that hair. Cease focus on the form of Krishna. And the focus to serve him, so that there should be no problems to him. There should not be even a dust, even a small particle of hair in his eyes. You can imagine? This is what enthusiasm is made of, focus. And then next, Rupa Goswami says, Lalita-ashtakam, he says, Radha Mukunda Pada Sambhava Karma Bindhu. And then he says, Nirmanjo Pari Krita Deha Laksham. Lalita Sakhi is ready to sacrifice Deha, his body, Laksham, thousands of bodies on the altar of Radha Mukunda, if required to do service. Ready to sacrifice thousands of lives. That's what Lalita Sakhi says. You can imagine the kind of sacrifice. So next component enthusiasm is made of is sacrifice. Sacrifice for your beloved, sacrifice for Krishna. You're ready to sacrifice even your life for Krishna if required. That's second component of enthusiasm. Just like this, all these nationalists, they're ready to die for their country, freedom fighters. That indicates enthusiasm. Oh my God, he's so enthusiastic, ready to die for his country, ready to do anything, even die. And if Lalita Sakhi, she can give up millions of lives for the service of Krishna, and she still be not satisfied. That is the enthusiasm, appetite of enthusiasm. That's sacrifice, second component. And the third component is Uttunga 𝗪𝗲𝗀 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗀. Lalita Sakhi, she is very vicious, very special. She has a very special quality. 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲. She is a well-wisher of Radha Krishna. That's the third component of enthusiasm. If you're enthusiastic to serve Krishna, you will want to benefit them, not benefit yourself. Benefit them. Try to think about them. Don't try to think about yourself. You think about them, they'll think about you. That's a deal. If you think about yourself, they'll think about themselves. That's all. It's plain and simple. Let's make a deal. 𝗦𝗪𝗀𝗍 𝗪𝗂𝗎, Krishna says, 9th chapter, 29th verse. Sammam sarva bhuteshu namadveshu asti na priya evajanti tumam bhakta 𝗦𝗪𝗀𝗍 𝗪𝗂𝗎. 9:29. So I live in my devotees and devotees live in me, Krishna says. That means I work for them and they work for me. I serve them, they serve me. They serve me, I serve them. They think of me, I just think of them. These are the three components which Rupa Goswami says which forms enthusiasm. If you open up enthusiasm, these are the three components you'll find. Just like if you open an atom, you have proton, neutrons and electrons. Similarly, if you open enthusiasm, you will find focus on service, and then you will find sacrifice in service, and you will find well-wisher of the beloved whom you are serving. And precisely this is what Gita Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita. I think that is 18th chapter. What's that verse? 18th chapter. What was that verse? So yagya dan tapa karma. Yagyo danam 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 pavanani manishinam. 18th chapter. I think it's 18th chapter. Yagya dan tapa karma na tyajyam karma eva tat yagyo danas 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 pavanani manishinam. Krishna says, even great souls are purified by yagya, dan and tap, these three components. Now what are these three? Yagya means sacrifice. We have already told what Rupa Goswami says. Danam means well-wishing, giving something. Dana means giving. Giving to Krishna, Radha Krishna, not just keep on asking them. That is well-wishing, giving to them for their benefit. And tapaha. Tapa means focus on service. That's our austerity, focus on service. In spite of all kind of reverses, problems, we are still focused on service. So Krishna says, Yagya tapa, simple. This is what enthusiasm is made of. Okay, now the question comes, let's see here what's happening. Okay, now the question comes, this enthusiasm, if you keep up your enthusiasm for a long time, if you maintain your enthusiasm for a long time and keep on increasing it, because now you know the components of enthusiasm and you can work on it. You can work on your focus. You can work on your well-wishing for Krishna, on being less selfish in devotion. You can focus on sacrifice, and that's how you can actually maintain and increase your enthusiasm. If you increase these three components: enthusiasm for following rules, regulations; enthusiasm for to take good association, to abandon bad association, so on and so on. And then if you keep on maintaining and increasing, this enthusiasm will develop into a beautiful phenomena which Rupa Goswami calls as 𝗪𝗨𝗪, greed to attain Krishna. This enthusiasm converts itself into greed. That's what Rupa Goswami says, 𝗙𝗪𝗪, verse number 14. Rupa Goswami says in 𝗙𝗪𝗪, he quotes verse number 14. He says, इसको पीछे करके करो, shadow आ रही. So 𝗙𝗪𝗪, Rupa Goswami says, Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti rasa bhavitamati yadi kuto api labhyate, kriyate yadi api kuto api labhyate. So Rupa Goswami says, so Rupa Goswami says, Krishna Bhakti rasa bhavitamati. If you get a consciousness, Krishna Bhakti means Krishna consciousness. If you get Krishna consciousness, bhavitamatihi, if you get a mind which is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, that means if you get a mind which is enthusiastic for Krishna consciousness, bhavita, extremely enthusiastic, not just enthusiastic, extremely enthusiastic, so enthusiastic that it's simply absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Kriyate kuto api labhyate. If you can get it somehow, if you can get it, just take it. But the question is, you will not get such a heart, such a mind which is completely enthusiastic for Krishna consciousness, to serve Krishna. Or in other words, you will not get a heart which is like Lalita Sakhi, or maybe 2% of heart of Lalita Sakhi. You will not get it. But there is one way to get it. There is one price for it. What's that price? Tatrumulyam 𝗪𝗨𝗪 api ekalam. 𝗪𝗨𝗪, greed. A greed to attain Krishna. That greed, so Rupa Goswami says, if you want Krishna, if you want this kind of heart which is very enthusiastic for Krishna, you need 𝗪𝗨𝗪. So in other words, greed is when extreme enthusiasm for Krishna, that converts into 𝗪𝗨𝗪. That converts into greed. Greed to attain Krishna. Greed to attain prema. 𝗪𝗨𝗪 mulyam koti janma koti sukruti api na labhyate. Millions of lives of pious credits, that will not give you this greed. How will you get this greed? How will you get this greed? You develop your enthusiasm, increase your enthusiasm day by day, day by day, day by day. When your enthusiasm becomes extreme, then it converts into greed. Greed for what? Greed for Krishna. That's the whole point. Greed for Krishna. So that's what Rupa Goswami recommends us. So that's what we are looking for. If we keep on increasing enthusiasm, what do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Till what limit should we keep on increasing enthusiasm? Well, to the point when you develop a greed to attain Krishna. And that's what Krishna says in 12th chapter, 9th verse. He says, Ata chitta samadhatum na shaknoshi 𝗪𝗎 sthiram abhyasayogena tato mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. Krishna says, abhyasayogena tato mam. Krishna says, if you cannot fix your mind on me 24 hours, if you cannot fix your mind in samadhi, If you cannot go in trance, that means if you don't have love of God, because only love of God can make your mind fix in trance in Krishna, then what do? Simple. Then abhyas yogena tato, then follow rules and regulations, and 𝗪 𝗪𝗀𝗋, develop a desire to attain me. That's the point there. We are looking to a point, we'll keep on increasing enthusiasm day by day, moment by moment, until we develop this desire, this greed to attain Krishna. We want Krishna at any cost. Just as a fish wants to go back in water when it is taken out of the water. Or just as a girlfriend wants to meet the boyfriend. Romeo for Juliet, Juliet for Romeo. That's type of greed we want. And then we will think our efforts to increase and advance enthusiasm are successful. It's not that we become enthusiastic and then enthusiasm goes down, and then we again become enthusiastic. And when we are enthusiastic, it's nice, and then we stop increasing enthusiasm. No. That kind of greed, like lust, just like when a person is lusty, he wants a girl, or girl wants a boy at any cost. Similarly, we want Krishna at any cost. What gopis had this greed. Gopis, when they were blinking, then they were cursing Brahmaji, the creator. Why did you make our eyelids? We cannot see Krishna even for a fraction of a second. That gives us pain. That's the greed to see Krishna. And they were cursing the creator. You can imagine, they were cursing Brahma. So, that's what we want. And that can happen by the mercy of Krishna and his devotees. Rupa Goswami says, Krishna, Krishna tad bhakta 𝗪𝗖𝗋. And to whom Krishna and Krishna devotees will give mercy? Who will show enthusiasm in service. Squirrel and Hanuman. Who will show enthusiasm in service. And who will show that he is increasing and maintaining and advancing in enthusiasm. And then Krishna and devotees will be happy. They will bless. Then he will develop. Then this extreme enthusiasm will convert into greed to attain Krishna. So that's what we're looking for. But the whole question is how to maintain enthusiasm. Because as the time goes by and we become senior devotees in quotes, everything becomes little mechanical. Same Mangal Aarti, same chanting, same class, same prasad, same day, same night, same sleep, same devotees, crazy devotees. So what to do? So how to maintain that enthusiasm? And that's what Narottam Das Thakur says. How to keep up your enthusiasm in Prem Bhakti Chantrika, he says. Narottam Das Thakur. Prabhupada quotes in his books from Prem Bhakti Chantrika, Narottam Das Thakur, in his purports, and Narottam Das Thakur says, see, Maria, you just do these 5 things, and your enthusiasm will keep on increasing, and you will be able to maintain it. You will be able to increase your focus day by day. You will be able to increase your sacrifice. You will be able to increase your well-wishing for Krishna, or decrease your selfishness and increase your selflessness for Krishna, giving him something. You will be able to increase it day by day. Do just 5 things. Kam Krishna karmarpane, krodh bhakt vitveshi jane, lobh sadhu sange hari katha, moho Krishna bine, mad gun gane. Narottam Das Thakur says, if you just do these 5 things, your enthusiasm will increase day by day. Or you have to do Kam Krishna karmarpane. Kam means lust, anger, greed, illusion, vivil, moho, attachment, and mad means pride. What do you do with them? You engage them in service of Krishna. Don't let them obstruct you. you see, only thing which can stop your enthusiasm, only thing which can stop your enthusiasm is these 5 things, isn't it? These 5 evils: lust, anger, greed, envy, attachment. So what do? You engage them in service of Krishna. And how to engage them in service of Krishna? It's simple. Kam Krishna Karmarpane. You use your lust, the energy of lust, to serve Krishna day and night. There's energy in lust, isn't it? When lust comes, you have a lot of energy. You can't control it, and you are helplessly attracted towards opposite sex. Or you're attracted towards money and big aims and name and fame. Use this energy to serve Krishna. Use your tendency to attain things, to attain big things, to do something in this world and show something. Do the same thing for Krishna. Do something for Krishna. Prabhupada always says, do something. Show to Krishna that you can do so many things. If you have, you can apply your energy there. Big projects for Krishna. Okay, Kam Krishna, Krodh 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗍𝗍. And use your anger on atheist and atheistic concepts. Speak against them, write against them, publish against them. Just like Prabhupada used to say, destroy them. Whether it's philosophers, scientists, philanthropists, speak against them. Use your anger against them. Krodh 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗍𝗍. Lobh sadhu sanghe harikatha. Invest your greed to hear from sadhu sang, nectarian topics about Krishna. Use that greed to be with devotees and hear about Krishna day and night. Topics from Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna book, nice topics. And moho Krishna bine, Krishna smaranam bine, Krishna bine. And consider yourself and use your attachment. Moho means, so actually moho means bewilderment, not attachment, bewilderment. Bewilderment due to attachment. So yes, you should be bewildered when there is no Krishna, because you are attached to Krishna. Just like a boy is bewildered without girlfriend. What should I do? My girlfriend, what should I do? I want to talk to her. Without her, what will happen? Use the same sentiments for Krishna. And 𝗪 and pride, and use your pride for Krishna gun gane. Be proud. I am trying to be servant of Krishna, not trying to be servant of some Shudra and some nonsense guy. Trying to be servant of Krishna. And I'll just glorify Krishna. He's my master. Try to do that. And you see your enthusiasm will advance leaps and bounds. That's what Narottam Das Thakur advises. And then, but the whole question is, you will try to do this, but you will not be able to do this. This also needs some kind of perseverance, some kind of energy it requires to use all these things in Krishna's service. So we need some blessings. It's not just your endeavor. You also need blessings in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, Ashirvad, blessings of Vaishnavas and Krishna is beyond human calculation. It's not just your efforts that if you do these 5 things, you will advance. You need blessings. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2nd, 41st verse, Prabhupada used to quote Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So chapter 2nd, 41st verse, Bhagavad Gita, so where Krishna says, Vyavsayatmika buddhi, eka kuru nandana, bhahushakaya nantasa, avyavsayanam, bhahushakaya nantascha. Krishna says, those whose goal is not fixed, their intelligence is many branched. Krishna says, fix your mind. And Prabhupada said, when I was reading Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary to this verse of Gita, he said the secret to advancing Krishna consciousness is to satisfy the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. That verse he quoted. Prabhupada says, that hit me. So you need blessings of Guru and Vaishnavas to accomplish this task. It's not just your endeavors. So you have to make senior devotees and Guru and your counselor, your people who are guiding you, not counselors, people who are guiding you, whoever it may be. Just try to make them happy, please them. and by their blessings, you'll be able to do it. So, but here's the point, but there's a problem there. You might do all these things, but still not advance, because then Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, so you see, so what I'm doing, Rupa Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishnu Thakur, Bhakti Santa, we are coming down, and things are becoming more focused. Bhakti Santa says, yes, you can do all these things, but remember, do it for Krishna, don't do it for yourself. Because we'll be confused. Bhakti Santa says, selfishness in devotion is not only dangerous but destructive. So yes, you be enthusiastic to do all these things. You focus, you sacrifice, you do something for the benefit of Krishna, you do all this calm, Krishna karma, all these, take blessings of Guru, but do it for the happiness of Krishna. Remember, don't use these things for your own selfishness. Don't do this to attain happiness, satisfaction and peace in devotion. That's not our aim. Our aim is for Krishna. Krishna should become happy. Krishna should become peaceful. Krishna should become satisfied, even if we suffer in hell for millions of lives. That should be our mood. We are not here for happiness, peace, satisfaction. If you get satisfied with satisfaction, you are getting satisfaction, your devotion is finished. Well, that's selfishness. You're working for yourself. You're not working for Krishna. That's the whole idea there. And then Srila Prabhupada says, so Prabhupada says, yes, if you want to show that you're not selfish, how to show that? How to know I'm not working for myself, I'm working for Krishna? Whatever you get, distribute. Whatever you have learned in this seminar, tell to others. Don't keep it to yourself. That will be selfishness. Don't do your own bhajan. That's how you express selflessness. That's how you express. Whatever you hear, share with somebody. Distribute what you get. Empty your bags. Christ said, it's not necessary to empty your bags in a pandal program. You can share with one person, tell whomever you meet. And your Father will fill it again. That's what it said in the Bible. So preach. Prabhupada says preach. Or help in preaching mission, people who are preaching. Help in distribution. 𝗙𝗲𝗪 𝗪𝗀. So Parampara is telling about 𝗪𝗲𝗪 𝗪𝗀, the sweetness of service. And how to increase that sweetness by enthusiasm, by greed. And then distribute this sweetness. Then it's a whole package. Otherwise, it will be a whole selfish package. And then it will be dangerous and destructive. You will be involved in offenses because you're working for yourself. You're no longer working for Krishna, even if it appears devotion. That's why Bhakti Santa used to say all these people who are sitting in Vrindavan Sahajiyas, they are all monkeys. All these big Siddh Babajis, Bhakti Santa used to say, they are all monkeys. People who are chanting 1 lakh rounds daily, reading Acharya's books, and just sitting on Radha Kund, just begging and eating. They are all monkeys, because whatever they are doing so much, but they are doing for themselves. They are not preaching, they are not distributing what they are getting. They have not understood the basic principle of devotion. So if you understand this full lecture, I started with enthusiasm. I was basically speaking on enthusiasm, its components, how do we maintain it, increase it, what we have to keep in mind when we are increasing this enthusiasm. It should be for Krishna, should be selfless. So like that we can advance in devotional service. The key point is be enthusiastic. And I just told how to do that, what to do and what not to do. That's the whole idea. And then you can advance in Krishna consciousness safely. Hare Krishna, Srila